and welcome to The Reality Is. My name is Alysha.
And my name is Sanjana.
And before the show starts, we like to let viewers know that the values that are expressed on the show do not reflect the values of Close Look Productions. They are our values and ours alone. And we have a sponsor.
Yes. How can we forget about Surrey Honda?
Surrey Honda.
Please check them out. They are located on 152nd Street and Fraser Highway. And for the latest deals, do check out their website at surreyhonda.com.
Awesome.
Yes.
You're getting so good at the
Okay,
sponsor.
I'm like
I can tell you're sweating, but you just always get it by the end of it.
Thank
anyways,
you.
I know. With that being said, let's get started with the show.
Yes.
So we have a bit of a different setup, right?
A little change.
Yeah. And so the reason is because we are prepping our viewers for next week's topic. Yay!
Yes,
Yeah.
Going down memory lane, thinking about the fun times we had with, should we say his name? I think we can say his name.
Yeah,
Sukhpal.
He was our first guest. It was so nice to start off the whole series with Sukhpal. It was really nice.
He took a chance on us.
Yes,
when
he
no
did,
one else
and it
did.
paid off. I think so. He had the privilege of being on our show.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So, let's talk a little bit about the structure for today.
So for today, we're going to kind of give like a summary of what we visited on our first episode, just going down memory lane, checking out some clips, asking some questions for comprehension. But yeah, just like reminiscing the good old days, I would say.
So basically, we're going to show some clips of that last episode. What is positive psychology? What is social comparison? The ways that we can reset our reference points. But stay tuned for the end because we are going to reveal the topic for next week. And you might be thinking, like, why are we showing clips of the first episode? It's because what was learned on the first episode connects and links to next week. So we want to provide our viewers with that foundational knowledge that will get carried on for next week's show. So let's show the clip. Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Reality Is. My name is Alysha.
And my name is Sanjana.
And just before the show starts, we'd like to let viewers know that the values that are expressed on the show do not represent the values or opinions of Close Look Productions. They are our values and ours alone. And with that being said, let's get started with the show.
Yay, finally.
Yeah, I know, finally. We're saying finally because we're all new at this podcast and the show. And, just getting the right angles and the lighting, it took a while. And I think our guest speaker can attest to that today as well. Right, Sukhpal?
Yeah, shout out to him.
Yeah, so we're really excited to start our first show and have a bit of a structure going.
Yeah, so I think we have a very special guest for today. I think we already mentioned his name, but we have Sukhpal coming on our show.
Yeah, so he is, I've known him for a couple of years now, and he is a university student who is currently studying psychology. He's also really interested and passionate about positive psychology, which is basically, in a nutshell, the study, the research that's put behind, wellness, health, happiness, optimal happiness. So we have a new guest here. Hey, it's Sukhpal. Sanjana's gone, so we kind of replaced Sanjana with a adult man. So she is in the studio audience, and she will be listening in on us and providing her reactions and moving the show forward. So let's get into it. I'm so excited. I was supposed to have this gentleman on the show yesterday, but I'm so happy to have you on the show as our first guest.
Thank you.
You're kind of our guinea pig, so. So this is Sukhpal. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So basically, I'm a psychology major. I run an Instagram page regarding positive psychology. So basically, what got me into positive psychology was always knew I wanted to do psychology, but I could never find a particular field that really resonated with me personally. But that was until I took a community psychology class, and it was related to positive psychology.
Right.
So that's when I really started to see, the value in knowing community psychology and positive psychology and how I can use this to help other people.
Right.
And that's what really started me into researching into how can I create a better lifestyle for others, which of course
Right.
led to me creating my Instagram page for that kind of lifestyle.
Yeah. And there's so many, branches of psychology, and a lot of times it's so far-fetched, it's so abstract, we can't even apply it into our lives. And for someone that actually, did a psychology degree and follows Sukhpal's page, there's a lot of stuff that you can apply in your lives like right away. I think that's what also resonates with you, me, and anyone who's into positive psych. So with positive psych in mind, can you maybe give a little bit of a dummy's definition to what this is?
So basically, positive psychology, like the study of it, is basically how can we implement habits into people's lifestyles that will boost their well-being. That's basically the simplest form. And positive psychology ties into community psychology, which also kind of, talks about how we can create an environment for people to thrive in. Not just, just go by for a mundane lifestyle, but actually increase their well-being and live a better lifestyle. So that's why positive psychology and community psychology tie into one another. So basically with social comparison theory, it kind of talks about how, it's never enough, basically. Like we're always wanting something more, right? So I took a positive psychology class, and, they really, my professor really talked about this a lot, about how, we're always striving for something, but once we get there, it's like we enjoy it for a bit, but then we want something more. Right. You know what I mean? Like it's never enough. So it's always creating this never-ending chase for something that's always far out ahead, which of course is going to create problems, especially with your mental health, right? And furthermore, we're always not just always chasing something, but always looking at what, someone else might have, or, oh, maybe I used to have this, or now I want this. And you know what I mean? It's always this sort of comparison game going around.
Hey everyone, thanks for making it to this part of the video. If you watched the video to this point, you probably got a glimpse of what was happening for our first episode. And now, who better to ask questions to than our host and find out what she remembers from our first episode.
I feel so on the spot, but yeah. I feel like we should kind of know what happened in the show.
We better.
So okay, what is your question?
Okay. Do you remember 3 strategies to resetting your reference points? And resetting your reference points is really just, you watched the video, but just trying to understand, kind of getting away from the social comparison and working on what you want.
Yes, that's what I got from that video too. Basically, what are some ways to reduce your social comparison? Okay, that's hard. I'm gonna say, I think it was something like being grateful, concretely re-experiencing. So yeah, concretely re-experiencing. Oh my gosh. Do I only know?
Do you
wait?
Forfeit?
Is there 3?
There's 3. There's 3.
Okay, just give me 1 second.
Okay, I'll just check.
Give me a hint.
Okay, so you got the concretely re-experiencing part correct. I would say, I don't know how to give you a hint without giving it away.
Okay, describe it.
Just,
switch. Oh, I know what it is. It's
How did you understand that?
It's is it kind of changing your variety?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's on a roll.
So I think so I'm hoping I got all of them right, but let's watch the video to see if I actually got all of them right.
Basically, just to talk about this, resetting reference points, I'm not, just because I know about social comparison and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't mean that, I'm immune to it. By no means is that the case, because I myself am a sneakerhead. So if you're not familiar with the term, is I collect shoes. And that...
Wait, what term?
Sneakerhead.
Oh, sneakerhead. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, I collect shoes, and there's always more shoes that I want. And, of course, that's part of, social comparison itself. So one smart way to, kind of combat that is, concretely re-experiencing something. So let's say I have 20 pairs of shoes. That's just for an example, right? What you can do is you can take away your new pairs of shoes and just put them away for a while, put them in your closet, for example. Take out your old pair of shoes that you used to wear before, you became a quote-unquote sneakerhead. And then try to wear those shoes and see how long you can last in those shoes before you start missing your shoes that you took for granted. That's something that we can actually do to combat social comparison by concretely re-experiencing something.
Okay,
That's very important.
So it's called concrete re-experience.
Yeah, concretely re-experiencing.
Perfect.
Yeah. Another one is interrupting your consumption. Sanjana actually talked about this earlier. Is like, being grateful for something. Like, let's say, I'm eating a bowl of ice cream, for example. How about stopping it and just being grateful that, what, I'm enjoying this good chocolate ice cream. As cliche or corny as it might sound, but like it actually works according to research. So like being grateful for what you actually have, really thinking about it, reflecting on it. So that's also very important. And lastly, increasing your variety. So, usually we have like our routines and everything, like, I go to gym this time of the day, I read this time of the day, and I play sports this time of the day.
Right.
But how about increasing our variety? How about switching up our schedule, doing something rather earlier in the day and doing something later in the day? Or let's say if you eat a certain type of food every single day, how about changing that from every day to like once every 4 days and trying a different food in place of that? So that also helps reset your reference points, right? What people don't understand is that you don't always have to be experiencing something good. So you don't always have to, chase like that new shoe or that new food or something like that. It's okay to, have like, some mundane food that you don't really like. It's
Ooh, that's a good
yeah,
point.
because people always like, I don't want to make a generalization, but people tend to fall into the trap of, we always have to experience the highs, but sometimes they're just not necessarily the lows, but like the averages or like the whatevers. So we don't have to always run away from that and always try to go for the highs.
Okay, you did pretty good, I would say. Okay, you got all of them right.
Yeah. Oh my god, give me the credit.
Okay, fine. No, but she actually did really well. So you watched the video, so you should know it's concretely re-experiencing something, interrupting your consumption, and increasing your variety.
Wait, did I get that right though? I said being grateful in place of interrupting consumption. So okay, whatever. I was it
we'll
was in the
cut
video,
that out,
so
guys.
so yeah, that was actually really fun. Like it was really nice to go back to those clips and kind of, I don't know, feel a little bit warm and fuzzy, like given that was our first episode it was such a really fun topic, like just talking about positive psych. But the reason why we're bringing these videos to you guys now, this is why you guys are here and listening to us, is for the big reveal. But,
drum roll.
Yeah. So, it's important like that we talk about positive psychology because it's just like this concept that is like an age-old challenge. What do we need to do to be happy in our life? It's such an important thing to be aware of and to really be in the pursuit of, right?
Yeah.
But I remember Sanjana and I were like, yeah, that's awesome. Like, this is such a good, uplifting, optimistic topic in psychology. But, like, is there, like, a reality where too much positivity is bad? Or, like, is it toxic?
True.
I remember you actually mentioned that, so.
Yeah, I was in a bit of a shock, actually, because, like, how can positivity be detrimental to your mental health? Like, isn't that something that we're all looking for to be happy? Like, at what point does it get too negative or disruptive in your life? And I think that's when we decided,
we decided we need to go back to this subject with the help of our
wonderful.
with the help of our OG guest, Sukhpal. So that is the topic for next week. It is toxic positivity, when being too positive is the negative impact. So next week, Sukhpal will be joining us. We'll be talking about toxic positivity with him. It's going to be an awesome show because at the end of the day, we want to show you guys the reality of each topic, how multifaceted and, there's so many different sides to everything, right? So, you have to talk about all the good things about it, but also the impacts that it might have on you. And that's why we thought we'd share this topic to you guys. But yeah.
Sounds good. And yeah, just hoping that you get the reality out of the situation and you can make informed decisions.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Yeah, so please do watch our next episode. That will be Thursday at 6 p.m. And do connect with us on social media at The Reality Is Show.
Absolutely.
But before we end, we should really thank Close Look Productions. What was that?
I was like, what are you trying to say?
I was like, I can't even think Close Look. It's just so hard.
Yeah, it's But
So
yes,
emotional.
you're right. We should really mention Close Look. They were the ones that provided us with this encouragement and this platform. Speaking of Close Look, they are actually having their annual talent show in November. So calling out all musicians, artists, poets, creators, innovators. This is your chance to shine and to embrace the stage. Registration is now open, so what you can do is you can email us at closelookUnitedFoundation@gmail.com for more information. We really strongly urge you guys to, make use of this amazing platform with cash prizes up to $500. Yay!
Yay, money!
I think that's it for today, for this week. We hope to see you guys next week and get inspired.